Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Here I have Margie Toca, my beautiful mother.
How are you, sweetie?
Good, good, good. I'm so glad to have you because I have a bunch of questions I need to ask you.
Yes.
Number one of the main things is I was looking through my messenger, my Facebook messenger, and there's this guy who claims to be my dad's cousin.
Okay.
What's weird is he kept hounding me and he kept asking me for my uncle's, his cousin's phone number.
Okay.
Provided him all that information. Now after so much time of he just keeps messaging me and so I don't know how to take this. I mean, I want to be kind to the guy, but I already gave him what he needed. I'm not really that close with the guy, so I'm not gonna stay in constant contact with him, but I feel like he's trying to get something out of me.
Is he from Cuba?
Yeah. He's probably trying to get something out of me.
No.
Oh.
No, not that. People from Cuba, they're very friendly. And they seem to be, when they get to know like a family member that they don't know, oh, you're the son of one of my family members that I was really close to or something like that, they seem like they want to be friendlier to talk to you, and you're like the son of, my close, he was like more than my brother, more than my cousin and all that. So basically, he likes to reach out. We're on the other side of we're on the other side of the states, or on the other side of the sea.
Yeah, and you know how we grew up in Miami, like everybody's
right.
To fucking get you. Everybody's out to get you.
You're scared of yeah. What are they doing? They're stalking me.
Right.
But no, in this case, it's a little different. Just be nice and
that
get to know
is something I noticed whenever I went to Cuba and I went over to anybody's house. Ven, siéntate,
ven a comer. Aquí tenemos comida.
Yes. Everybody wants to like throw a little miniature party in their house.
Yeah, they're very friendly, very loving. So there's loving people in Cuba, I'd say. Yeah. It's a shame everything's happened to them. I mean, some of them it's not their fault. I don't know who did what they did and how it happened, but I do know that it's not their fault. I feel I've been to Cuba 3 times, and the times I've been there, it's been awesome for me.
Yeah.
Everybody has put the plate out for me.
It's a great time. It's a great time when you go over there, and
Havana,
everybody, because of course it's a more poor of a country, so you're running into a lot of like fincas or farmlands, and a lot of people who don't sometimes have holes in the roof or doesn't have warm water, or basically their water temperature is whatever the temperature outside is. Exactly. And you're grabbing a bucket and all that case may be, but the type of love that you receive off these people you don't even know is amazing.
It is amazing.
It's extraordinary.
I took a trip once with one of your uncles from Pinal del Rio all the way to some certain farm. And
Pinal del Rio, that's a city in Cuba.
A city in Cuba. And I rode the bike there with him, and he was in shock. But I told him, let's go on the bicycle. You take your bike, I'll take a bike that you can provide me. Yeah. And we'll go. He goes, but it's kind of far. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm here to have fun. I'll enjoy the bike. And you know what? It's good for the exercise. So let's go.
The same thing happened when I went with my grandfather, and he put me on a horse.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't a bike. It was a horse. It had 4 legs.
It was different.
But it was fun.
It's country, different, different for us.
Yeah.
We're always in automobiles, back and forth, and cars here, there, whatever. But it's different. When I got to the house, I should tell you, it was those people lived in a house that wasn't a house. It was more like trees. They lived in a
no way.
In this kind of
makeshift, like they made it themselves.
These trunks, and it was a different
talk
kind
about surviving.
Yes, a very big survival.
Jesus.
And when they served me coffee, they felt bad, and they opened the door, and I said, how are you? And I was really nice and stuff, and they were looking at me, touching my hair, and
oh my God, it's like a third world country.
Exactly, that's what it is. And
that's sad. That's sad.
That is sad.
And it's only 90 miles away.
They were so nice.
Oh, that's good.
So nice to the point that they didn't know what to serve me. They wanted to give me coffee, and what do you think? How do you think they gave me coffee? On Flintstones, from the way time back then. On these kind of
like carved out rocks,
but not rocks, but they're metal. Carved metal.
Oh yeah. Like it was welded.
The spoons are they were like that.
Gotcha.
It was like I asked her, did your husband make this? She told me yes.
Oh my
He
God.
made all of this. He made the plates. He made everything carved.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, wow.
You think
funny.
poor people, but at the same time, you gotta admire the guy.
Yes.
You gotta admire him. I mean,
like,
listen, I can't weld a cup by myself.
My tears came out because
pobrecita.
I was like so touched by these nice people, and thinking that I am like from another world or something.
Yeah. You were like
And
a
I'm-
star.
Yeah, I'm like
You're
a star. I'm just a regular person like you. But those people like touched my hair, and they were like looking at me
Oh my
like,
goodness.
is this a big movie star? And regularly, and I was very nice to them and kind. And I said, if you guys ever need anything from us, just let me know. And so we left. I left with a brother on the bike back, and they were in shock because they're like, this girl's American coming from United States, and she's on a bicycle, not a rental car.
Nobody's interested. Nobody nobody's checking out what you got, or can you send me something, or can I come with you, or anything like that.
No, I never had that.
Because I never got that either.
I never got that either. Everybody was nice to me. I never had to give nothing to nobody, and it was an awesome trip. The 3 times that I was there,
That's great.
it was awesome. So
And
it's very fun. It's very happy fun.
I really want to like I said, those kind of skills to be able to make a cup or a bowl or something like that. I mean, you give me at least a couple years of training, yeah, I can do it. But just to do it because you have to survive,
Yeah.
I mean, I admire that. That's a man.
Is this? Yes.
That guy's a man.
This is like Flintstones time. That's how bad it was. That's how those people, it seemed like they had to survive, and they were like so sweet. And so the only thing was their faces. It was kind of sad. They had like fat, sad faces, but at the same time, seeing me, it was like a glow that went into them.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. That's the kind of impression I gave to them.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And that was fantastic. That was very nice.
Well, luckily we live in the States, and we, unfortunately for those guys, because it's so sad, it's only 90 miles away. It's our neighbors.
Right there.
Those are our neighbors.
Our neighbors, yes.
And because of, political bullshit, because of this embargo that happened in the 60s or 70s, I think it was the 80s.
Yeah.
It was the 80s.
I think it was the 80s.
It was the 80s, and that was when, I think it was it Nixon or Reagan? No, it was Reagan.
Reagan. Mm-hmm.
Reagan stopped it. And ever since then, those people have been suffering.
Ever since.
And, it's what's more tragic is their own country, what they went through, because from what I know, I don't know firsthand, but Batista,
right,
the president before that, was pretty. I mean, he probably had his faults like any politician, but he was had the country better off.
He had the country better off. That's what I understand too.
Right.
That's what I heard. I've been here all my life, so
you had the 1950s cars.
Yes.
Out there.
I rode one.
You did?
When I went out, yeah.
Oh yeah, me too.
You rode.
But it was broke down by that time.
Oh.
It was. I mean, it wasn't broke down, but it was like rusty and kind of things like that.
I rode in a good one, and it was a green. It was a green one, very different from here. The seats were like really up here. They're like really up here, and you could see the street like if it'd be a truck. Like a
so cool.
F-250 or something like that.
That's so cool.
It was really tall and very heavy. The truck.
Heavy duty.
The truck was
awesome. And see, half of those people, I can only imagine because they're survivalists. Half of those people, if it breaks down right there on the road, they're fixing it themselves.
Right there, I'm sure.
They're getting
something out
with a tobacco hanging on. I got this. Don't worry about it.
Those people are survivors.
Those people are survivors.
After all, and they're very good Cubans. Yeah. Really, really nice.
My grandfather, and this one, this.
Yes.
He, Lucas Guerra.
Lucas Guerra.
All right. He always had a
wonderful man.
Machete right there, a machete right there on his hip.
Yes, he did.
All right, ready to go. He had a chest full of white hair. He looked like Santa Claus.
Yes.
He looked like Santa Claus, and he was probably the toughest man I ever met. His hands felt like bricks, like you were shaking bricks.
That is so true. His hands were strong and tough. Yes.
And so from what I know on the history of them, they were tobacco farmers, right?
Yes, they were.
Tobacco planters.
And your grandmother was the one that would wrap up the tobaccos.
Look at that.
She would wrap up the tobaccos,
See, I didn't know
and
that.
she wouldn't even have a tobacco in her mouth.
This is great
This is
because you guys can get to know
From
me
the bad.
straight from my mom's mouth. She gave me birth. And I'm getting to know a little bit about myself, too.
Yes. Those are his.
It's fantastic. Better because I got stuff interrupting us. Moving on.
Yes. So basically, yes, his grandmother had a tobacco in her mouth, but she was a doll. She was sweet and she was very nice to me. Excellent. When I walked into her house, the first picture I saw was me with the 3 kids, which I have that picture at the house.
Oh, wow.
With the 3 kids holding the 3 of you, of my precious kids that I love so much. I should say that. They're wonderful.
You, I love you too.
I love you. They're wonderful, and I don't want any other kids but these, the ones I had. That's it.
Good.
With them, it's perfect. So anyway, there was a picture of me right there. I was like, wow, that's me.
That's great.
And my 3 kids.
Right there. As soon as you walked in.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, these people really love us.
That's it.
You know, so that really touched my heart.
90 miles away, and
90 miles away without expecting.
We have everything over here, and still
Everything.
you can walk over there and you can find a picture of yourself.
You know what that
with
is?
your 3 kids.
That's like, wow. What would you think to find a picture so far, 90 miles away? I didn't even know.
Well, it's funny is that it goes both ways because, if she was still alive, God bless her heart, she would walk over here and I have a picture of her.
Exactly.
Right by my bedside. So she would have seen the same thing. Maybe she's still seeing it from up there,
Maybe.
But it's crazy how we're just like it just blows my mind. We're so short of distance and those people are going through that kind of situation. But at the same time, you find these videos of Cuba and they're having the time of their lives.
Yes. They make out of a little thing, they make it a party.
They're stealing our hip hop songs. They're stealing our shoes.
Yes, they are.
Your man, Danny, just he finished telling me that they're actually now importing Gucci.
Oh, wow.
And Versace from Europe.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I don't have any Gucci. No. I don't have any Versace. Like,
Those
what? You know what that is?
They're advanced as well.
You can be dead broke, poor as shit, but you got Gucci on.
That's right.
That's the moral of the story here, folks.
That's the most important. You have Gucci on and looking good.
Gucci, Versace, you're going out to clubs, and you're broke as shit.
You're looking good.
You know what also is crazy about Cuba, now that we're on the subject, is the fact that I just knowing from what my uncles went through and from what Danny has told me and everything like that, red meat is sacred over there.
Oh, yes, it is.
Red meat. So my uncle, for example, he stole some red meat and he went to jail. Of course, did some shiesty shit in jail and got even more years. But needless to say, they could give you 1 year, 2 years in prison for stealing a steak.
I know, that's terrible.
What the
That's
hell?
Something that incredible.
This is my man Danny right here.
Yeah.
Say hi, Danny.
Hey, Danny. Danny's such a wonderful, wonderful man.
That's my mom's man. He's always taking care of her.
Yeah, always. I love him. Bless him. Bless his heart. He brought me coffee.
Yes.
He's a very, very great man. Can't expect nothing else but him.
So, have a seat, Danny. You want to sit down?
You want to sit down?
No.
Yes. Ready?
So it's amazing the history of Cuba and, especially from where you came from and where, like, you came over here when you were 3 years old.
3 years old.
3 years old. And so this is all
We've been here 54 years.
And I'm first generation American.
Yes.
All right, perfect. For those motherfuckers who keep saying, I came off a banana boat or anything like that.
He's not a rafter.
All right, I'm not a rafter.
He was
I'm
born
not a
here,
refugee.
Mount Sinai.
All right, I did get this mustache at a flea market, but besides that,
Mexican flea market.
I got one at Mexico. One
of those, huh?
Yeah. But besides that, no, we're pretty much American now, and that's why your accent is so perfect.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
We've been here our lives, and we do speak Spanish perfectamente. Tratamos de hablar lo mejor que podamos.
Mm-hmm.
Y
yeah.
Soy una abuela de 4. No, 4.
Cuatro.
Yep,
You're
cuatro.
going on 4 right now.
Going on
You're
4
gonna have
now.
another one who's gonna pop up.
Yes.
And it's another boy.
It's another boy.
Thank God.
He could be
That's
great
good.
with Adrian.
Yes, I need somebody to play with this little crazy animal.
I love him.
But
So, yeah. Soy abuela de 4. And pasándola lo mejor que pueda. Siempre feliz. Siempre dando lo mejor de mí. Ayudándolos en todo.
yes,
Estamos aquí
we always
para
help each
todo.
other.
para ellos 3.
So I want to get back to the fact that we came from Cuban generation. Okay, from what I've told, there's been a lot of different races that have claimed their flag onto Cuba. For example, what I'm talking about is Spain.
Sí.
Spain was one of the ones who came here first, landed their flag. But from what I also understand is los chinos, the Chinese, also, right?
Right.
Because my tia, my aunt, she looks exactly Chinese.
Because that's a story. My grandfather married my grandmother, which is your
My
great
grandmother,
grandmother and
great
grandmother.
grandmother. No,
Just great
great grandmother.
and great grandfather. He was from Canton. He was from Canton, and from Canton he went to Cuba and married my grandmother, which is your great grandmother.
So I got Chinese in my blood.
Yes, you do. That's why Angelise looks Chinese. Yes.
Well, would you look at that? I still keep finding stuff out about myself.
It's 7 generations. So it takes up to 7 generations
Gotcha.
being.
Interesting.
So they got married. They had my father. My father had me. And then I'm not as Chinese, but I have a little maybe in my eyes. But
yeah.
my sister is very Chinese.
Super Chinese.
Her son.
Super Chinese.
Her son looks Chinese as well.
Yeah.
We call him Chino.
We call him Chino.
Yeah.
Super interesting. That's
So
super interesting.
that's
So
generation.
we had Spain. We had the Chinese come over.
Yeah.
Italian, right?
And then
Russians too.
exactly. Now, her husband, my grandfather,
Yeah.
your great
Grandfather.
he was from Spain. He was from Spain originally. So he came from Spain and then went to Cuba and then married my grandmother, my father's mother. That's my father's father. And so they had all the kids. We had 3 blondes and 3 brunettes. They're tan skin.
Yeah, your father, my grandfather, he has blue eyes.
Blue eyes.
You
white
know what's crazy?
skin,
What I don't understand
and
is
blonde hair.
maybe I mean this.
He had.
Tell me if this isn't crazy. My grandfather had blue eyes, right? My father had green eyes,
Beautiful. Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I ended up with your eyes. Adrian ended up with me and Ashley's wife or Lies.
Eyes.
At what point does that? That's what I want to know. At what point does that hereditary
Come out.
Those
Maybe
genes.
with Adrian's kids. It all depends who he marries, and from there we see. That's where it comes in. His kids or his kids'
Right.
So that could always.
And that's another thing. Speaking
Come
about
back.
kids or kids, stuff like that. Ashley's a twin, so
Exactly.
I could pop out some twin. And Ashley's
right.
grandmother was a twin
was a
too.
twin. Oh wow.
Yeah, so I could pop out with some twins, or Adrian, my little son, could pop out with some twins, maybe.
Yes.
Two for one.
Because that's generation through generation. So yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. That all is in the genes.
That's it. I might have some twins. I might, my son I might be a grandfather to some twins.
Yes.
These are things that you're getting to know about me.
Generational.
You know what I mean? I could have had green eyes, but I look better with brown eyes.
Yes, you do.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you.
By the way, I want to.
We're drinking coffee here. It's very nice.
Oh, it's such a good time.
Okay.
Listen, I just want to make it known, just so you guys can get a taste of what we're listening to, because you guys haven't been able to hear this at all. But we're sipping coffee, talking to my beautiful mother here, and this is what we're listening to. So, yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's great.
We're having a great time.
It's fantastic.
And that music is all very, very good.
Very soothing. It's so soothing. But anyways, I'm glad to have you here. Thank you so much for coming on, Mommy.
You're welcome.
Just to kind of tell my audience a little bit more about me.
Of course.
And
this is a great guy right here.
That's right. Talk about it.
He's like, let's
about
go. Let's do it right now. Now.
Let's do it. I love you, Mommy.
I love you.
All right, guys. Hey, listen. Keep in touch. Keep watching us here at the Shock Treatment Podcast. And
yes.
Thank you all for watching. Subscribe, like, all that bullshit. We love you. Take it easy.
We love you.
Peace, bitches. Say peace, bitches.
Bitches.
That's right. There you go.